So hello everyone, welcome. It's been a while since I posted, but I did get a new, well, I've been getting lots of new things, but today I want to talk about just my journey towards finding a portable setup that would work for me. And the latest edition is this Uperfect Mini X 11.6 LapDock. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that if you're thinking about getting that. And I have spoken previously about my Pepperjobs 13.3 inch Extend Touch. This is an old Logitech Bluetooth keyboard that I actually used with my iPad years ago, but it still works and it's nice. I like it. It has a nice case that comes with it. And this is a Pebble mouse. And then of course, this is my Chuwi Mini Yoga book. I still don't know what to call it. I don't even know if the company knows what to call it or if it says on there. Yeah, it says Minibook. So it's one of the versions of the Minibook. It's an 8-inch screen. And for all of these, I have, various bags and satchels that can carry different things like the mouse and a thumb drive and a mouse pad there. Now the Chuwi is of course running the Windows 11. The Pepperjobs does not have a battery. It is touchscreen and it connects to my DeX. And that's obviously Android, latest Android. And then the Uperfect Mini X 11.6 is obviously also running DeX. And I have a little screen holder that I got for it, although the ones that you can put to the side are a little bit more substantial, but obviously they weigh more and they're harder to carry around with you, whereas this one, if you're on an airplane or something, you just put that to the side. Now I guess the Uperfect Mini X 11.6 is the new one on the block here for me today. And I kind of had a briefly negative experience when I bought it because the wall charger, wall adapter, AC/DC adapter didn't work. And so I had to try to figure out different solutions to power up the battery in this device. And I managed to find that my Bose SoundLink 3 wall charger with the adapter, the correct adapter, worked in this. And I also had a third-party generic laptop charger that also works. So those two are working for now. The seller told me to go ahead and buy one online and they would reimburse me. So we'll see how that goes. I guess in my journey, one of the questions you might have is, which one works the best and which one do I like the best? And I guess my answer today, I guess I'm a little bit more cynical and pessimistic today, is none of them. I wonder if, maybe an iPad Air or an iPad Mini might have been a solution to all of this. I have an iClever, I think it's iClever BK506 portable keyboard, which is also okay. I use it with my Samsung Galaxy Tab A. So sometimes I will just put this in a dock and then I'll just use the iClever keyboard. But I guess my point for today that I wanted to make is, if you're thinking about what you need to be portable and the technology and the gadgets you need, I think it's important to figure out what screen size you want, how heavy you want it to be, what kind of bag you have to carry it in, what keyboard you will like. Are you okay with having power banks, power things, or do you have to plug them in, or do you want them to have a battery? What kind of keyboard do you like? So, for example, in my office, I use the MX keys by Logitech. This is my favorite keyboard. but it's a little heavy. It's not extremely portable. At the one at home, I have the extended one with the numbers. And I find that I just like those keyboards the best. I have a lot of different keyboards that I've shown off before. This one is just a Clip Tech, just a generic one that I use with my old Asus, which is over here. This is a 15.6 inch, but it's a Core i3 fourth generation. So I think I got it in 2013. So it's pretty old. And I keep meaning to get it erased and then donate it. So each of these has a certain function. The Pepper Jobs, along with this Logitech keyboard and mouse and my Samsung, this works when I come into the office and I just put the DeX there. So I can use that as a second area for personal communications when I'm over here working on my main screens. I have 5 screens here with my laptop. And this is an Onyx Booksmax 2. I have the Lumi 2 at home, which has the lighting, which I like. And then at the office, I use a Kobo Sage with a Renessier stylus. And I use this just to read things quickly and also to take notes. I prefer the Onyx interface because it can read anything, any format you put in there. The Neo Reader is going to read it. This one I have some trouble when I'm marking up documents and then trying to save them into various formats. So I use this basically for note taking and for reading books, and primarily books that I only need to highlight, that I don't need to mark up. If I need to mark up a PDF, I'm going to use my Onyx Booksmax 2 or Lumi 2. So this is the Chuwi Minibook Yoga, I guess. I don't know. 8-inch screen, Windows 11. And then I've got my DeX set up here with the S22 Ultra. And surprisingly, the Uperfect Mini X, it's not as light as you might think. I would say the Chuwi is lighter. And this is a full Windows 11 netbook, and this is just a LapDock. And yet this weighs more. And I guess, I'm not sure, it definitely, it must be the battery in there. Because, that it's like a 10,800 milliamp. I guess I would have put in maybe an 7,000, 8,000 milliamp if you could get it lighter, because, lightness and portability is what I'm looking for. And so for my trips coming up this summer, this is looking like it's going to be the solution. I have had some trouble with the mini HDMI out. I have to use a USB-C out to, an adapter that has VGA and HDMI, because my mini HDMI has not been working. I don't know why, what happened to it. That's kind of a bummer, because that allows you to plug things in. So I probably will take this with my mouse and with the BK keyboard. That's what I'm thinking right now. The thing about the, trying to get portability, for me, the most important things are, I like that this has a built-in battery. The Pepper Jobs does not, but this is a better screen, obviously. But I like my Logitech keyboard here, which I originally got for an iPad years ago. It has a nice case. This is a nice keyboard that I use with my DeX set up in the office. This keyboard, I'm just not used to it yet, but I'm not fully into it. Same with the Chuwi Minibook. Like this, it's just too small to do any actual typing for long periods of time. You can type in email, you can type in YouTube search for video, but you wouldn't want to write a paper with this, whereas you could with the Logitech or even with the Clip Tech, and certainly with my favorite, the MX keys. So I often wonder if getting a new iPad Air or an iPad Mini would have, saved me from a lot of, these purchases and these decisions. My Tab A with S Pen, the digitizer on the screen has been having some trouble, so I have to use the S Pen a lot more. And if I push it all down, then my fingers work again. So, these issues. I guess if I could do it all over again, if I could trade these in. The Chuwi, the Pepper Jobs, the Uperfect. I probably would go with an iPad Air with a nice keyboard. Or I might go with a very light 15.6-inch laptop with a Core i7, 11th or 12th generation. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now. And I have a lot of old gadgets that are, Celerons from several years ago, or the Core i3. And I'm just thinking, and same with the Chuwi, it's just it's a Celeron. And I'm just thinking, I have all these different devices that are less powerful, but maybe I just want one or two that are more powerful. So anyway, if you're thinking about, what is a good portable setup for you, and if you're thinking about decks and LapDocks and things like that, I think you've got to think about how you're going to use it, where you're going to carry it, what bags are you going to use, what accessories do you need with it? Do you want it to that you can plug it into a wall charger or a power bank, or do you want it to have its own battery so you don't have to worry about that? Do you need to have Windows operating system for some reason, or can you get away with using the Android? You need to think about what kind of a keyboard you want to use, what kind of a mouse you want to use, and are you okay to carry those with you, in your portable setup? And are you okay to have the cable? This is a basis cable. I've got a couple of them with the hammerhead, right angle. These are 10 gigabytes per second kind of a deal. And they're really good. I really like them. They work great. I don't know if you can see that, but it's hard to find them. A lot of times they're out of stock, even when you find them online. And ideally, I would want a screen that is wirelessly connected so that I don't have to worry about that wire. And then I would want to use my MX Keys keyboard and mouse, for this. And I would want the screen to have its built-in battery. But now you're talking much higher costs. I got this one on sale. Normally this was $300 US, I think, when it first came out a year or two ago. And now I got it for the equivalent of $150. So I can't really complain about that. And this Chuwi Minibook I got it through Banggood out of China. And I think it was $350, which is not bad, And the Pepper Jobs 13.3, I think that was like 500 ringgit, which would be about like $120 roughly, which is, again, so, I'm constantly doing things where I find a deal, and I don't know, maybe the lesson is, to get the exact thing you need and splurge on it versus getting things that, can get the job done, but that you're not fully 100%, thinking it's the greatest. The Pebble mice have been good. I had a generic Microsoft Arch, the one that you fold flat and bend up. I think I showed that in another video. And the generic one, at least, it can be a little frustrating. I'm guessing that, paying for the Microsoft is, you get what you pay for. So I probably needed to get that. But the Logitech Pebbles, these are pretty good. And, they go for around 100 ringgit, which is like about $25 US. So it's not too bad. I've had this keyboard for a long time. I used it with an iPad 2 back in the day, and it has a holder that can hold up a screen. But the Pepper Jobs has its own hold up. So ask yourself those questions. What operating system are you comfortable with, and or that you need for your work or for what you're doing? What screen is important to you? Do you need it to have touch? Do you need it to have a battery built in? What keyboard are you comfortable using, and how long do you expect to type on it? And what mouse are you comfortable using as well? And I think when you can answer those questions, you'll know. Originally, I have a very nice uh, power bank that I use. This is a MyMosh, and it's 1200, I think, milliamps and 30 watts. And it's got two 6000s in there that lead to the 12,000. And it's really nice because it's got the 30 watts, which means that it can actually charge the Chuwi Minibook. And it can also serve as a power source for the Pepper Jobs. Pepper Jobs, I think, can use any power bank and it works. But I know that my Chuwi needed to have a certain wattage. I think it's above 25 or 28 watts, but this is 30 watts, so it works. I'm assuming that this will also be able to charge the Uperfect Mini X. The problem with this one is that they don't allow you, well, hold on, let me back up. This is the DC here. It's a 3.5 by 1.5 millimeter socket. Okay, so that everybody will tell you if you look up the reviews that that is, a negative for it. It should charge through the USB-C, but it doesn't. However, when I had my S22 Ultra plugged in here and I told you the wall charger was broken, I was able to reverse the power from the phone to the laptop to charge it, the LapDock, I should call it. So I know that's not ideal because this is the one you want to charge your phone. But you can use your phone to charge this device. It was working. Not ideal, but I ordered a USB-A to a 3.5 by 1.5, 1.35 sock pin so that I will be able to plug in from here and charge this eventually. My only thing about the Uperfect, well, other than that the wall charger was broken when it came, but the seller, was good, said find something and they'll reimburse me. I don't know. We'll see, because I'm using, I bought the cable and I also bought a wall charger. So I'm going to only ask them to reimburse me for one of them. But the two issues I have other than the charging are that, and that the USB-C is on the left, not on the right, because I usually put my decks on my phone on the right. So then I have to change it every time, But the keyboard is also not something, it's not MX keys, obviously. And they're a little bit smaller than what I would like to have. And so I would say that I'm not in love with the keyboard or the weight or the way it charges. What I really like about it, though, obviously, is the price was very good and it's portable. It is portable. It's got all the things. And I ordered a small USB-C cable, 5 inches, so that, I won't have the big cable stuff going on. All right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I told you I'm a radio, audio, podcast kind of a guy, not a video. So, but I know on YouTube you have to have a video to post so people have something to look at. I guess you can ask your questions down below. For me, I really like that these are all touchscreen. I like that this is a Windows. I like that this, connects to and has the decks and it has its own built-in battery. I love this screen, but it doesn't have a built-in battery, so it's good just in the office. The Logitech Pebble mouse, it functions, it works. It's not as good as my MX keys, but it's smaller, it's lighter, it's more portable. And the keyboard situation, you've got to figure out. I've got 20 or 30 keyboards, and I'm always trying to figure out which one I like the best. The MX keys is the one, as I said, that I like now, but it's a little heavy, but it is the one that I would prefer if if my carry-on didn't have a weight limit, I would definitely take it. So for this summer, I've got to decide. I'm not going to be taking the Pepper Jobs because I don't want to always have all the cables for the power banks. So my decision will have to be, am I going to take the Uperfect 11.6, or am I going to take my Chuwi, or am I just going to take my, Tab A with S Pen with my iClever keyboard, and maybe my Kobo Sage for reading. I don't know. So, I use the Kobo Sage is really good for just the note taking, quickly going to a meeting and taking notes. When I don't, the Books Max is kind of it's big to lug around, and I've got to take it out of just taking it off of the holder is difficult because you can't hold it. So it always goes, when you take it off. And so I just prefer to leave the books there. It's connected to my laptop, so I can send documents over quickly and read them there if I want to read them here. But I can also send documents to Pocket, and then I read them on my Kobo Sage, which has the Pocket capability. But obviously Onyx, you can read anything in any format with the Neo Reader. Kobo Sage, it's a little bit trickier. PDFs, I'm definitely going to read and mark up on the Onyx, but if it's just a book, I can read it and highlight it on my Kobo Sage. So anyway, questions, comments down below. If we can talk about these different items. Do you have these? Are you thinking of buying one of them? What are your needs for your portable setup, and what are your concerns? Write them in the comments, and I will try to respond as best I can. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.